Hello, and welcome to Vanderbilt Student Communications, Year Like No Other, Year in Celebration. I'm Jim Hayes, one of the advisors for VSC, and I'd like to thank you for joining us for this special event. We're here to celebrate our students' excellent work this year, see examples of your media production, welcome new student leaders, say farewell to our outgoing leaders, and, of course, find out who won VSC's Student Awards. Thank you for all you've done to make this year a great one. We know it wasn't easy. This year put you all to the test. Our newsroom and studios were inaccessible due to university safety protocols. After hours of Zoom classes, you had to turn around and jump into hours of Zoom meetings with your media groups. Add to that social distancing, canceled events, COVID-19 spit tests, and everyone calling everything unprecedented. But you did it. You made it. And along the way, you made media. Your media production did not stop. You worked together, found creative solutions, produced excellent work, and it looked like you might have had some fun along the way too. I'm proud to share some of the highlights from this year. The Vanderbilt Review just published its 35th annual Literary Arts Journal, a 145-page publication that made history as the Review's first ever digital-only edition. WRVU developed, planned, and produced the virtual concert Sham Jam last month, featuring independent bands and musicians hired to perform in this YouTube live event. Vanderbilt Political Review launched a newsletter this semester, and the number of subscribers has been growing. Vanderbilt Video Productions managed to make television shows, music videos, and short films without a studio, and in some cases, with nothing but a webcam or an iPhone. While VSC is not dependent on readership numbers and analytics, we love it when that data demonstrates the importance of student media production in the Vanderbilt community. We send 3 student content emails each week to about 22,000 subscribers. This includes the Hustler Digest, Sports, and My Vanderbilt Life. These emails often got 60% open rates, up from 30% in previous years, and as many as 12,000 users engaged with individual emails. Our weekly My Commons Life email goes to almost 2,200 subscribers. The open rate for that email hit 93% this year, and page views on the My Commons Life website increased 417% compared to the previous year. Page views and the number of visitors to the Hustler website have doubled from last year. Also, this year VSC adapted technology, then purchased and distributed remote broadcast equipment kits to approximately 80 students, so they'd be able to host regular weekly radio shows on WRVU and Vandy Radio from wherever they reside. Congratulations and thank you. As we look ahead to next year, I, for one, am excited about what's in store for all 16 of our VSC groups in the future. Now, the focus of today's ceremony is on you, the students. Before we begin thanking and honoring you, I'd like to give a shout out to the staff of Vanderbilt Student Communications. We serve as a resource to students, and we're so grateful for that opportunity. Chris Carroll, Director of Student Media. Jeff Bro, Assistant Director of Student Media and Director for Advertising. Paige Clancy, Assistant Director and Editorial Advisor. And me, Jim Hayes, Assistant Director and Electronic Media Advisor. Now, I'd like to invite Paige Clancy to talk about our outgoing student leaders.
Thank you, Jim. We'd like to recognize and thank our outgoing division heads, the editors, station managers, and directors of our student media groups. We're grateful for your leadership and service. Rosie Zhu, the marketing group. Madison Hitchcock, the Slant. Grace Liu, Synesis. Aditi Deepak, Vanderbilt Global Health Chronicle. Emmanuel John Milton, the Vanderbilt Hustler. Alex Kamai, Vanderbilt Lives. Eric Assen, Vanderbilt Political Review. Hannah Gruel, Vanderbilt Recording Studio. Emily Kopek, the Vanderbilt Review, Stacy Horton, Vanderbilt Video Productions, and Aidan Ilmus, WRVU. And a special thank you to everyone at My Commons Life and My Vanderbilt Life. If you're a division head now and returning in your position again next year, rest assured, we will recognize you at the end of your term. And now it's my pleasure to thank our outgoing board members. We so appreciate your work on the board and for sharing your enthusiasm and creativity in service to VSC. Taylor Lomax, Lucy Liu, and Rachel Way. Special thanks to our VSC board chair this year, Dr. Catherine Carroll. With more than 400 students participating in our media groups, it's fair to say your leadership as a board member, and especially as chair this year, has had a far-reaching positive impact on campus life at Vanderbilt. We very much appreciate your generosity of time and energy. Thank you. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Paige. I'd like to take a moment to honor the class of 2021. These exceptional students will be remembered for their dedication and creativity long after they graduate. On behalf of my fellow VSC advisors, we have thoroughly enjoyed working with you, watching you fine-tune your leadership skills, and seeing you produce excellent work. Seniors, congratulations, and please stay in touch. One note before we get to the VSC Awards. I want to applaud our students who have been recognized with other awards. Madison Hitchcock, editor of The Slant, is the recipient of this year's Women's Center Leadership Award. And Simon Gibbs, Hustler Sports editor, won in 2 categories in the Society of Professional Journalists Mark of Excellence Awards, Best Online Sports Reporting and Best Sports Column Writing. Congratulations. Now, it's time for the VSC Awards. Let me first say that we were impressed by the quantity and quality of the applications we received. Students submitted nearly 40 applications for just 8 awards. Every award was very competitive, and the selections weren't easy. But we're thrilled to honor the following students with our most prestigious awards at Vanderbilt Student Communications. VSC Rookie of the Year is given to the outstanding first-year student whose level of student media participation and demonstrated excellence sets them apart from their peers. The award includes a cash prize of $250. The winner of this award made a big impression when she arrived at Vanderbilt. From the beginning, she worked for My Commons Life, where she wrote about the ride of COVID shame and opined about various dining options in and around campus. She also helped produce the Commons Cast podcast and produced graphics for the Vanderbilt Hustler. One peer said of her, quote, "She is a standout talent with a lot of grit and compassion." Congratulations to Zoe Yarbrough, Student Media Rookie of the Year. The VSC Media Innovator Award recognizes a student media producer who is not a division head, who has excelled in the area of media innovation by either creation of a new product or an innovative approach to an existing division. It comes with a cash prize of $250. The winner of this year's Innovator Award is Abhinav Krishnan. Having served as a staff writer for the Hustler's opinion section, Abhinav broke into a new medium this year when he launched a podcast called College Voices. He carefully planned and produced the new podcast, inviting several interviewees to participate in each episode. He successfully met his own objective of featuring students telling their stories in their own voices. Congratulations, Abhinav. The VSC Most Valuable Player is a student media participant who is not a division head, who consistently produces excellent content and goes above and beyond in assisting with other tasks such as recruiting, training staff, promotions, etc. The cash prize for the MVP award is $250. This year's winner is Betsy Goodfriend. At the Hustler and Vandy Radio, Betsy has covered sports and Vanderbilt athletics throughout her Vanderbilt career. She served as deputy sports editor this year, breaking news and interviewing potential new coaches, actual new coaches, and star student athletes. As one of the few women on the sports staff and, as she noted, usually the only woman covering a Vanderbilt sporting event, she mentored young female writers and made sure women's basketball games got the coverage they deserved. Thank you, Betsy, and congratulations. The WRVU Award for Dedication to Excellence in Radio was endowed in 2007 by former WRVU General Manager Dr. Jamie Noble and is presented annually to an undergraduate Vanderbilt student who is a current WRVU DJ, a member of the executive staff, and one who has shown excellence beyond expectations for their position in their dedication to WRVU, either in listenership, programming, music education of the public, engineering, or financial support. This year's recipient served as blog editor, but his contribution to the station this year has been so much more. He has been technical support for others doing remote broadcasts on the WRVU GroupMe. He was instrumental in securing artists for the implementation of WRVU's virtual concert Sham Jam, and he hosts the popular show Chaotic Neutral, which has likely included a Taylor Swift reference or two. One of his WRVU peers described his contributions this way: "There's no way the station has the kind of success it has had this year without him." It's my pleasure to present this year's WRVU Award for Dedication to Excellence in Radio to Taylor Lomax. Taylor will receive a cash prize of $350, and his name will be engraved on a permanent display at WRVU. And now, back to you, Paige.
The Jim Leeson Prize is awarded annually to the student journalist at Vanderbilt who best exemplifies the values of fairness and impartiality in reporting. Such reporting shows respect for all parties, especially on divisive and controversial issues, and a commitment to reporting facts clearly, honestly, and as thoroughly as possible. This year, the Leeson Prize is given to Michaela Thornton. As the Hustler's opinion editor, Michaela has taken seriously her role in starting important conversations on this campus. As she knows all too well, readers often don't notice the difference between a publication's opinion and news coverage. Still, she worked for years to create a space of deliberation in the opinion section. Michaela said, "The goal of the Hustler's opinion section is to provide a platform for all student opinions. However, when the line between opinion and news becomes blurred in the eyes of the reader, I've learned it's important to ensure my opinion contributes to the discussion of the issue rather than attempt to dominate the discussion." The Leeson Prize includes $500, and Michaela's name will be etched on a plaque displayed in Surratt. I'm happy to present the Stephen A. Caldwell Student Media Leadership Award. The Vanderbilt Student Communications Board of Directors created this award to honor Dean Steve Caldwell's many years of wise guidance, advocacy, and support of students and staff engaged in media at Vanderbilt. The Caldwell Leadership Award is presented annually to an outstanding student media division leader whose performance reflects Caldwell's vision, integrity, and commitment to excellence. The award includes a $500 cash prize, and the winner's name will be engraved on a permanent display in Surratt. This year's winner is Emmanuel John Melton. As editor-in-chief of The Hustler in only his second year at Vanderbilt after transferring here last year, Emmanuel led The Hustler's 150 staff members and edited about 30 articles every week from 6 different sections, while writing more than 80 stories himself. He said, "The Hustler broke news stories picked up by national and local media, CNN, ESPN, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and the Washington Post. We increased page views dramatically, setting a Hustler record. Not only was the Hustler staff more read by its audience, they also wrote the most. The number of stories published by The Hustler jumped from 483 in 2019 to 693 in 2020, a 43% increase. And all these achievements were made during a global pandemic." Hustler managing editor Avery Muir said, "Our student body was living through a global crisis, making the need for accurate, timely, and ethical reporting all the more apparent. Emmanuel inspired the staff to continue writing over the summer. I'm continually impressed by his judgment and instincts as a writer, editor, and person, and I've been so lucky to work with him this year." Congratulations, Emmanuel. The Skip Bayless Award for Excellence in Sports Journalism is presented annually to an outstanding Vanderbilt student who exhibits a tireless work ethic and relentless commitment to truth-telling in sports coverage, analysis, and commentary. Skip Bayless, class of 1974, was a Grantland Rice Scholarship winner, Vanderbilt Hustler sports editor, and cum laude graduate who has enjoyed a long and celebrated sports journalism career. He is best known for his nationally recognized work as sports commentator on ESPN and Fox Sports. He is an inaugural member of the Vanderbilt Student Media Hall of Fame. The winner of this award will receive a $1,000 cash prize and have their name engraved on a permanent display in Surratt. The winner of this year's Bayless Award is Hustler sports editor Simon Gibbs. Simon, goodness, where do we begin? When Simon Gibbs, now a senior, first arrived at Vanderbilt, he jumped right into covering sports. He recognized the long history of excellent sports journalism at Vanderbilt and among our many alumni who are successful professional sports journalists, Skip Bayless among them. Not only that, Simon worked for then sports editor Cutler Klein, an award-winning trailblazing student leader. But Simon took a good thing and made it even better. His tireless coverage of athletics included 300 bylines, the most of any recent Hustler writer. We don't have time to list all his coverage, but here are a few highlights. He broke the news about COVID-19 cases affecting teams. He broke the Sarah Fuller story. He broke news about Vanderbilt's starting quarterback. He covered the football team's sexual assault allegations. He covered the hiring of athletic director Candace Story-Lee, the firing of coach Derek Mason, and the hiring of coach Clark Lee. Simon also worked on the VU Wired podcast, Vandy Radio, and Vanderbilt Video Productions. And Simon wrote captivating features profiling individual student athletes like walk-on football player Camden Coleman. As his editor said, Simon has seen in 1 year more than most sports writers see in 10 years of covering Vanderbilt. While anyone else would have been overwhelmed, Simon has taken these developments in stride and found opportunity where other writers and editors would have stopped. Congratulations, Simon. Each year, we present the Charles Forrest Alexander Award in Journalism. This prestigious award is presented annually to a student who has achieved distinction in Vanderbilt student journalistic projects. 2 exceptional student journalists were selected for the Alexander Award. This year, it includes a cash prize of $800 for each winner. The Alexander Awards go to Jessica Barker and Simon Gibbs. Jessica served as the Hustler's news editor this year, covering faculty and academics, the Christmas Day explosion downtown, Greek life and the Abolish Greek Life movement, student protests, and more. She followed news tips and broke stories, all while coordinating a team of news reporters working remotely. Even when faced with slow and no responses from university administrators, Jessica was creative about identifying sources who would talk to her and her staff to tell the important stories of our campus community. Simon also exemplified the selection criteria for the Alexander Award, namely the degree of active participation in student journalism projects and activities. We're still not sure how he manages to break news, write in-depth feature stories, produce videos, podcasts, and radio shows, work his sources, manage the sports staff, and seemingly live on Twitter 24/7. Chief among his successes was his breaking news story reporting Sarah Fuller would suit up for a football game, which became the most clicked story for the Hustler with more than 200,000 clicks. Congratulations, Jessica and Simon. And now I have a special announcement. From time to time, VSC may choose to recognize an award applicant for their exemplary work in student media. and bestow upon them the Vanderbilt Student Communications Honor. Recipients of VSC's 2020-2021 Honor Awards are Zoe Abel, Eric Assen, Samuel Curtis, Aiden Almus, Olivia Gordon, Stacy Horton, Madison Hitchcock, Emery Little, Emma Matson, and Rosie Zhu. In an unprecedented move, VSC is naming these 10 VSC Honor recipients this year. Each recipient will receive a $100 cash prize. Congratulations. This concludes the awards portion of our event. Now, I'm pleased to welcome our student leaders for next year. The VSC Board of Directors will include these students: Olivia Gordon, Madison Hitchcock, Emmanuel John Milton, and Zoe Yarborough. Now, I'd like to introduce our division heads for next year. We're really excited about what's in store for 2021-22. Avery Hansen, the Marketing Group. Alex Mills, the Slant. Andrew Warren, Synesis. Dave Ghosh, Vanderbilt Business Review. Joyce Kariuki, Vanderbilt Global Health Chronicle. Jessica Barker, the Vanderbilt Hustler. Farah Hassan, Vanderbilt Lives. Jacob Hale, Vanderbilt Political Review. Kelly Morgan, the Vanderbilt Review. Matthew Galeta, Vanderbilt Recording Studio. Mina Apostolova, Vanderbilt Vanguard. Grayson Liptak, Vanderbilt Video Productions. Ellie Huey, Vandy Radio. And Taylor Lomax, WRVU. That's all for us for now. Thank you for joining us for VSC's Year Like No Other year-end celebration.